Pardon the interruption, I'm Mike Wilbin. Tony, the long-awaited royal wedding is this weekend. Are you looking forward to it?
I'm Tony Coinheiser. Absolutely. Did you know after Will and Kate tie the knot that she can't eat shellfish or play Monopoly?
Really? That's crazy.
Yep, royals can't risk food poisoning or fights in the palace.
Would you be willing to give up those simple luxuries for a royal life?
Absolutely not. I play Monopoly every day, and I like to enjoy shellfish while I play. That is not worth it. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. On today's episode, the Giants lose a man, Hall of Fame mishaps, and St. Louis Cardinals manager Tony La Russa is here with us. So we begin today with Chris Duncan.
Now, Tony, what do you think about Chris Duncan playing again?
Chris Duncan's history of injuries has prevented him from returning to the field. The sport of baseball considers him to be too physically fragile and risky investment for owners.
I don't know about that, Tony. Duncan has always been a solid player, and even with all these injuries, he's back on his feet.
But the guy has a surgically repaired neck and hips. I mean, with the hip operations, he's had 2 within the last 9 months. Can any owners really be sure he will be able to play? Even Duncan himself says, and I quote, "A lot of the heat was deserved. I wasn't playing well."
You know, despite all these injuries, I can still see Duncan return to the field someday. And even if he doesn't, you gotta admit, the man loves baseball. He sits behind Cardinals pregame host Brian Stahl on WXOS-FM.
All right. I think we can both agree the man loves baseball. The point is, will he be able to return to the field?
Well, Tony, I think that's something only time will tell. The man has motivation and a lot of willpower despite all of his injuries.
So the San Francisco Giants get their 4th victory in a row on Saturday, and this time it's against the Arizona Diamondbacks. What makes this game interesting is that Guillermo Mota comes out of nowhere, pitches 4 1/3 innings, wins the game, and on top of that is the oldest player on the team. Why can't anybody help this poor guy out?
Well, Tony, first of all, Mota didn't do this alone. Freddie Sanchez should be getting most of the credit here with his game-tying double in the 6th and his 2-run game-winning single in the 7th.
Okay, well, Mota is pitching the longest outing of his career and relieving for Zito, who was placed on the 15-day DL.
Well, listen to this. Zito has not won a game since last September and went out with a sprained foot in the 2nd on Saturday. Maybe it's just time for the relievers to step up and contribute. Giants have to rely more on their offense anyway. That's the only reason I'm focusing on Sanchez.
All I'm asking for is a little respect for Mota, Wilbon. Here, this is from Mota's own teammate, Jeremy Affeldit. Quote, "Look at him, he's 80 years old. I didn't see that coming. He saved us for tomorrow. We've got a big series coming up in Colorado. Hopefully now we won't be burnt," end quote.
See, Tony, they do care about him. They acknowledge Mota and are ready to move on to Colorado. What do you think about Zito's chances of coming back in 15 days, though?
Zito's played a lot of games, and he's giving up his 356 game starting streak for this sprain. But he is a tough pitcher and has recovered quickly in the past, so I think he has a good chance of returning on time.
All right, fair enough. But again, the offense will just have to avoid double plays and focus on quality at bats like Sanchez did. Troy Toblinski is doing a Babe Ruth impersonation. His latest home run yesterday against the Mets was his 4th in 4 games, his 7th of the season, and his 22nd in the last 40 games, dating back to last September. And he is currently on pace to hit 95 home runs. Tony, is all this just fun curiosity, or is it a significant baseball achievement?
We've watched a lot of baseball over the years, and we know that every April there's somebody who hits 10 or 12 home runs.
Tulowitzki is not sneaking up on anybody. He's a great player.
The start looks better because Albert Pujols' start has been so slow.
But he's a great player.
I will tell you why this surprised me. I don't know what the breakdown is, but 75% of his home runs are going to come from Colorado, where you and I could both still hit home runs.
The actual stat is 45 or 46% of his home runs on the road. He's also got batted in and hits.
And now, 5 good minutes. Our guest today, St. Louis Cardinals manager, Tony La Russa. How you doing today, Tony?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. No problem. Let's get to the questions on everybody's minds. What's going to happen to Albert Pujols next season?
Well, guys, I don't exactly know. What I do know is that Albert is a fantastic ball player, and I hope we get to keep him around.
Why didn't the deal go through, Tony?
I'm not sure what the case is, but our folks and his folks just didn't agree.
Are you angry that Pujols contract will end this season with no deal in sight?
No, I'm not angry. Of course, I wish they could have worked something out, but it's going to be okay. All that matters is that he's still a Cardinal now.
Speaking of the season, Tony, what do you expect from your guys?
Well, they're a great group of guys, and I expect the best from them.
So you're looking for some big wins.
Of course, every year we go in with the same intentions, to bring home that title, and this year I think we can do it.
So what are your thoughts on Pujols becoming a free agent? Do you think he'll get picked up?
I don't think about that. Albert is a Cardinal now. That's all that matters. He's a Cardinal now. He plays like a Cardinal, and we have to focus on our team.
Do you think Albert set the spring training contract deadline for the good of the team, or to push your guys to give him the money he wanted?
Well, Albert has been really vocal about the deadline he set back in February. He did it for the guys. It would have been a mess if the contract negotiations were going on during the season. The focus wouldn't have been on the team, just on him. Albert did it for the guys. His teammates are always a priority for him.
What a great guy. It's reported that Matt Holliday, who plays left field for your club, has offered to defer money from his current contract ending in 2016 in order to get Albert's deal done. Is that true?
Well, I heard that too.
What do you think about that, Tony?
I think it shows how great our guys are. They really care about each other, and they enjoy working together. I think that shows that at the end of the day, all that really matters is playing ball. The money doesn't matter to these guys. They just want to play ball.
And how's Holliday doing after that appendectomy on opening day?
Yeah, he's doing great, guys. Thanks.
And any last speculations on why Albert and your GM didn't come to a deal?
No, I'm not going to speculate on that. They didn't make a deal, but hopefully they'll reach an agreement of some kind at the end of the season. I think the most important thing now is to focus on our guys. They're great, and we're going to do some great things this season.
Tell me about some of those guys, Tommy.
Well, of course there's Albert. His name just speaks for itself. But we have other strength in the lineup too. There's Lance Berkman, Skip Schumacher. We've got some really great guys.
And in the field?
Some great pitchers. Jamie Garcia, Chris Carpenter, Kyle McClellan.
What about Adam Wainwright?
Well, he's out for quite a while. He just had a Tommy John surgery to fix the tendon in his elbow. He's definitely out for the season, and we'll see what happens after that.
Now, many of your pitchers have had the Tommy John surgery and are back and doing great. Do you expect the same for Wainwright?
Oh, of course. Wainwright is a great player, and his surgery is performed by a great doctor. And you're right, other pitchers have had the Tommy John surgery. McClellan, Garcia, they came back real strong and ready to go. Wainwright will do the same.
Now, Wainwright isn't your only player in the DL, right?
Yeah, that's right. We had a rough couple games for injuries, but we'll get through it.
How long do you think Brian Augustine and Brian Tullett will be out?
Well, they're on a 15-day disabled list. They'll heal quickly and get right back to training with the guys.
You brought a couple of guys up from the AAA to take their spots, right?
Yeah, we brought a few guys up from AAA for now. Fernando Salas and Eduardo Sanchez, they're going to pitch with us for a while. It's a great move, and we're really excited about it.
Well, Tony, it seems like your guys are ready for a great season.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a real good season.
That's great. I'm sure those infamous Cardinal fans will love it.
Yeah, we have some great fans. They really help us get through the rough patches of the season.
A great, loyal city. One last question, Tony.
Sure.
Can you hook me up with some tickets?
Sure, just shoot me an email.
All right, well, thanks for stopping by, Tony.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Tony La Russa, manager of the St. Louis Cardinals, everybody.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Tony.
Let's go to the big finish.
Let's do it. The Rangers played the Washington Capitals in the first-round playoff series and came out with the victory with only 1 minute 39 seconds to go with a goal by Brandon Dubinsky. Any thoughts?
Star. Ovechkin himself gave the puck to Dubinsky. Shame, shame. It came out today that the weather report given to Notre Dame football staff was an old report. That later resulted in the death of a film student last October. Whose fault is this?
Everybody wants to place the blame on one person. The fact is, it's a horrible situation and no one person is responsible. It's just an unfortunate thing that must be learned from. Philadelphia 76ers and Miami Heat face off in the first-round playoff game that ended in a 97-89 Heat victory. Everybody's talking about LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade as the stars of the win. Do you agree?
Well, Bosh is a tough player and Wade can close out the game strong. I don't know about LeBron. Time will tell.
Jimmy Johnson wins the Spirit Cup by about 1 foot over Clint Boyer. Can't we just call this a tie, Tony?
Nope, he won it fair and square. Actually, it was by 0.02 of a second.
Wow.
We're out of time. We'll try better next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
And I'm Mike Wilbin. Same time tomorrow, Knuckleheads. Check out our PTI podcast on iTunes.